What's going on, people? It's your boy Leon Talks TV back at it again. Today's gonna be I'm gonna try and make this one a quick one, but I'm just gonna talk about really the importance of fatherhood, especially in the world of boxing, using the example of Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Well, first things first, let's start. Last night's fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn was nothing short of a epic. From the moment the bell rang, the atmosphere was electric, both fighters showcasing incredible skills and determination. Eubank Jr., despite feeling unprepared and facing unexpected challenges, stood his ground and traded blows with Benn, who came out with a fierce intensity. The crowd was on the edge of their seats as they exchanged powerful punches, each round more thrilling than the last. It was a true battle of wills, and you could feel the legacy of their fathers looming over the ring, adding even more weight to every punch thrown. The fight was a testament to the heart and spirit of boxing, leaving everyone buzzing long after the final bell rang. I would honestly say they did themselves proud, and they definitely lived up to their father's legendary fights. Yeah, it's not so often that a fight lives up to the hype of a fight surrounding the fight. So that's a great testament to them. Now, if you've been following boxing, you know that Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn recently had a big fight. It wasn't just about who would win or lose, but something much deeper. The legacy of their fathers. Both of these fighters wanted to make their dads proud in the ring, and that made their fight even more emotional. Here's something important to consider. Chris Eubank Jr. and his father, Chris Eubank Sr., had a complicated relationship. They were estranged for many years and didn't see eye to eye on certain things. And they pretty much didn't talk for years, right? In fact, many of us were led to believe that Eubank Sr. wouldn't attend the fight. I mean, he's gone on interviews and called out his son as a disgrace in certain situations that Chris Eubank Jr. did. For example, when he smashed the egg in Conor Benn's face, his senior did not agree with that and called him out and said he was a disgrace and that he would not be supporting him or attending the fight.
And Ben Shalom saying, why aren't you with Eubank Jr.? Why aren't you part of the fight week activities? Why aren't you in the corner?
Because I will not be an accomplice to their stupidity, to their circus. Junior, you're smashing an egg against this guy's face. I taught you that. I didn't teach you that. Who taught you that? Did Karen teach you that? That's disgraceful. I'm gonna stand in your corner. You must be mad. You must be mad. I would never be in your corner. You're a disgrace. You're smashing an egg in someone's face, and then you're trying to justify it. There's no justification for that. There's nothing noble about that.
And amongst other things, they've had certain things that they just didn't see eye to eye with. And, he did come under a lot of scrutiny. And people were saying that he should come and support his son, as people would do. But to our surprise, guess what? He showed up. And when he showed up, you could see the stadium lit up. Like the audience cheered with celebration as soon as they saw them both together. And you could imagine what it did for Chris Eubank Jr. And of course, it would have made a huge impact on him. Having his dad in the audience likely gave Eubank Jr. a boost of strength and motivation. I mean, honestly, I think if Senior hadn't been there, Junior would have never won that fight. He wouldn't have had the same motivation and perseverance for triumph. Even though I thought it was a draw, if it weren't for his father, he might not have stayed in there and traded with Benn, to be honest, because Benn was the younger fighter, the more explosive fighter as well. You see, if either of them, I'll be honest, if either of them didn't have their dad there, they would have lost. The only thing that kept both of them on their feet, in the final rounds especially, was pride and not wanting to let their dads down. I can honestly believe that. You see, this is a powerful reminder of how important family can be, even when things have been tough. See, so let's go into the role of the fathers. So why is having a father figure so important? Well, when you have someone supporting you, especially a parent, it gives you strength. Fathers can teach their kids about respect, discipline, and hard work. It's like having a cheerleader who also helps you train. In the case of Eubank Jr. and Benn, both fighters had their dads by their sides. Imagine how they felt knowing their fathers were there, cheering them on, watching every punch thrown. It's not just about winning, it's about making their fathers proud. You see, when it comes to pride and motivation, let's think about the final rounds of the fight. It was tough. Both fighters were exhausted, but they pushed through. Why? Because they didn't want to let their dads down. The pride and motivation kept them going. It shows how powerful a father's presence can be. Interestingly, Eubank Jr. mentioned that he was unprepared for the fight to go the way it did because that Conor Benn surprised him and he had to change his whole tactic. So he had to stay in there in that ring and trade punches, because he couldn't move around like he used to. But knowing his father was there likely fueled his determination to fight harder. It showed real perseverance and determination and motivation to keep going. But this isn't just about boxing. It also applies to life too. Having someone to support you can make all the difference. No matter what you're facing, whether it's in sports, schools, or personal challenges, knowing your parents believe in you gives you the confidence. Respect is another big part of this. It doesn't matter how old you are. Having respect for your parents and yourself is crucial. It shapes who you are and how you interact with the world. You see, my biggest takeaway from this Eubank Jr. versus Benn fight is the profound importance of fatherhood. Both of these men were driven by a desire to make their fathers proud, and having them by their side meant everything to them. Regardless of the outcome, whether in victory or defeat, it wasn't merely about continuing a feud. It was about honoring their legacy and their sacrifice their fathers made. The fight highlighted how deeply personal connections and family dynamics shapes our motivation and aspiration. Ultimately, it reminds us that the true measures of success lies not just in titles or accolades, but in the love and pride we cultivate within our families. The fact that Eubank Sr. attended the fight despite their past issues shows how powerful family connections can be. It motivated Eubank Jr. to push through and fight hard when it mattered the most. I mean, even to the point that it was even a special moment for Conor Benn to see Senior and Junior at the ringside, because I believe Conor Benn had a few words with Chris Eubank Sr. and told him how happy he was that he showed up and made it a real family affair. I quote, Conor Benn said to him, "I grabbed him by the neck and I said, mate, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you turned up. The relationship with your dad never goes." So whether you're fighting the ring or facing challenges in everyday life, remember that having someone in your corner can help you stand tall. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe for more discussion on important topics, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who inspires you in life? See you next time.